All right, so my most requested video so far has been how to do a reverse. So here is a breakdown of how to do a reverse in the shot put. And I'll preface it with the number one thing to remember when you're trying to learn how to do the reverse is that it should happen naturally. It's not something that you want to force and think of actively having to do. If you're feeling like you're having to force the reverse and make yourself reverse, you're not to the point that you should be reversing yet. If I land in a good power position and my right foot is active and turning, I should come through and it should pretty much happen on its own. If I'm landing here and I'm feeling like I'm really having to jump to do the reverse, you need to work on the fundamentals more to get yourself in the proper position and the proper sequencing to be able to reverse. So I'm gonna take you guys through my thought process and some drills to build up to the reverse. So I'm gonna be honest, the reverse is something that's a difficult thing to do. It's something that a lot of athletes struggle with. So if you're having trouble with the reverse, you're not the only one. It's something that is a difficult thing to do. But I will tell you, if you really have a proficient reverse, it means you're doing a lot of things right. Don't get frustrated if you don't get it right away. You kind of follow this drill series. It will help you really be able to stick that reverse and figure it out. But the main thing I want to reiterate is that the reverse should happen naturally. Don't try to make it happen. If you do everything right, it will happen on its own. So I've got my shot, and the first thing I want to start with, once I'm warmed up and ready to throw, is start with a non-reverse. So if I can do a non-reverse well, that means that I'm ready to do the next step in working towards the reverse. So with a non-reverse, I'm gonna take it back, and you can pick up this front foot a little bit, but don't get too crazy with it. So I'm right here, I'm gonna turn this right and block with the left, and I'm gonna finish right here. So my feet are staying the same. That is why it is a non-reverse. I am not reversing, but it's a good way to check your balance. So I take the shot, and the main thing I'm cueing here is turning this right foot and blocking with the left foot if you're right-handed. So I'm here, I'm in my power position, turn the right, block with the left, and so you see how I finish here, right foot turn through, left foot block, and I really held this left side here, and I'm on balance. So once you get to the point that you can do that, throw here, finish, block, on balance, now you're ready to take the next step on your path to reversing, and that's gonna be an up and over or a step over drill. Now that I feel comfortable with the non-reverse and I'm finishing it on balance, so to do the step over, it's the same start, except for I'm gonna go back to here and focus on turning that right and pushing that right foot ahead. And then as I get to here, that right foot is gonna come up and over. And so that's the next step in our reverse, because with the reverse, I'm starting here and I'm turning the right and it will break off the ground and I'll hold it right there. So now from the non-reverse, we're adding the step of really breaking that ground contact away with the right foot. So I'm taking it back right here, really turning that right foot up and over right there. So I'm working on blocking with the left and finishing up and over right there and stepping out over the front. But the main thing on all of these drills is really turn that right foot as much as you possibly can. And so once you've really mastered the step over and feeling like you're getting over the top and reaching over the toe board and finishing on balance, now is the time to reverse. So if you've nailed those first two steps, you're gonna reverse now. And so to reverse, I'm here and I'm gonna turn that right like I do, and like you're gonna break off as you go to step over. Now the left comes off as well, and you finish putting the right foot into the edge of the toe board right there. And I want my eyes on the ball all the way till my right foot comes off. And then I'm going to break my eyes off of the ball, and to help save it, I'm gonna look at the ground to get into this position. So eyes on the ball as the right foot leaves, and then as I release, at the moment I let go of that ball, my left foot's gonna pull back and my eyes are gonna drop. And once again, this should be something that happens on its own. So it's not so much that I'm here and I'm really just jumping at the ball. It's a long fluid motion that you don't want it to be really hitchy or jerky. You want it to be long and smooth, applying force on the ball all the way to here. My right foot's off, the ball leaves my hand, my left foot's off, and I drop my eyes to save it right there. So to put that all together, I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna turn this right, here. Right foot comes off. As the ball's leaving, my left comes off. I drop my eyes. Right foot is parallel with the toe board as I get right here, and that's my reverse. And it's easy to save, and that's the very fundamentals of it. And so you can see if you're off balance, you're gonna be falling left or falling right. So just be aware, if I'm falling over to this right side and stepping over here, I'm off balance this way. If I'm usually out over my toes and here, I might end up over here and step out. So the reverse is a good indicator. If you can, it's a really, really good indicator that you're on balance and have very sound fundamentals. If you can come through with a reverse and just stick it right there and be on balance. So I'll put all of that together and take a throw with the ball. So I've done my non-reverse, I've done my step over, and now I'm gonna work on the reverse. So turn the right, here, up and over. Let that finish right there. So that's the reverse. I'm doing them from a stand throw right now. You can work on a non-reverse from every single position. So if I wanna do a full throw, I'm here, I finish on a non-reverse. And that's a great way to know if I'm on balance. If I'm a glider, the same thing. I come here and I come in and I'm finishing here with a non-reverse. And so no matter what technique you're throwing with, if you're wanting to do the reverse, do the non-reverse first. If you can do the non-reverse and land here, whatever, it's a glide, a spin, a shuffle, it doesn't matter. If I can land here and finish on balance with the non-reverse, it's gonna make the reverse throw so much easier. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope this makes sense. The main takeaway from this is do not force the reverse. It should be something that happens on its own and has a flow to it, not something you're actively trying to jump and do and force to happen. Throw with a non-reverse. A lot of athletes have thrown really far with a non-reverse and never really incorporated the reverse into their technique. So don't think that the reverse is the key to throwing far. Being fundamentally sound, hitting a solid non-reverse is the key to throwing far. If you can do that and check the box of a solid non-reverse, the reverse will happen on its own and you'll add distance to your throw.